You go first.
Twofold. Fold one is our expectations. We expect people to treat the friendships the same way we do, and we are a little intense.
Very intense. We have very
Second,
high expectations for sure.
yes. Second fold, which was the first one I thought of. Hold on one second. We continue to grow and change. We don't stay stagnant. And
Mhm.
I think that's the better way to grow and be different and change, experience new things. I think we've both gone through journeys in our lives, up and down, but we've still continued just in a kind of upward. And I
Mhm.
think sometimes when you do that, someone who is in your life in a certain part of your journey doesn't fit in your current state of your journey. I'm saying journey a lot. I feel like I've been watching too much of The Bachelor. But what do you think? Those are my kind of two main thoughts on that.
Yeah, I actually think that that was spot on. We are very, very loyal people, number one. And also, I think our mom, has set really high expectations on like birthdays. Like she would put a little thing outside our door and we got to pick out the breakfast we wanted to be delivered to us the next morning. On our, I'm going to say 13th birthday, we got 13 presents. I think mom just did that to you recently, actually.
Yeah, my 28th birthday, which was my golden birthday because I was born February 28th, I had every single day that month, so 28 gifts sent to me
And like,
to LA from Washington.
so that screwed us for our husbands and for our friends because it's like we want we want to be made to feel special because we've been made to feel very special. And people aren't like that and people haven't experienced that, so they don't even understand like why is that my responsibility, which it's not, but it's
I
just like
actually, yeah. Well, we're on friendship breakups, but I even think my friends always did a really good job on my birthdays too. So I had my mom, I had friends, and then Marcus, bless his sweet soul. I probably cried and we got into a fight for the first 5 of my birthdays. And it's
oh yeah,
not his fault.
it's probably like every holiday for me and Jared, and we're still kind of working through it. And I feel bad, and I even tell him like I understand that it's not really fair for me to be mad because even if sometimes he tries a little, it's just like, well, that
You
didn't take
remember
much
on
thought.
Valentine's Day on paper plates, mom would get chocolate and then she'd spell out our names and then put it in the freezer. So then you could pick it up and it was a chocolate with your name.
Yes.
That I want that and nothing less. Those are
Yeah,
my
exactly.
expectations.
Well, and it's kind of sucked. I'm going off on a tangent a little bit, but it's kind of sucked too because I feel like
You lost it.
yeah,
I almost lost it. My first thought too.
hold on.
It's okay.
I don't know.
So
I'll
what
just
was
start.
actual friendship question?
So, how to deal with a friendship breakup. So, I feel like I really struggle with this. Anytime I've gone through a friendship breakup, I kind of go into a depression. Like it's really hard for me to lose friends. I think I hold them just as like dearly as like a boyfriend or like whatever, that I think I really like go through it when I experience a
No, for sure.
friendship
I remember
breakup.
specifically my first friendship breakup, 8th grade, and I didn't like. We eventually got back to being friends, but I think until then, I don't think she knows this, but I did not get out of my bed for 3 months. Like I was such in a deep dark hole because, especially you have your family, and then when you're in 8th grade, like at least I didn't really have a boyfriend until like Marcus, so your best friend is your everything. And so when you lose that unexpectedly, you just question everything. You don't know what to do. You have nothing to do on the weekends. Like you miss that person so much. Like people should acknowledge that a little bit more. Like, oh, you just broke up with your boyfriend. Are you okay? Are you fine? But you don't really get that. Like if I had a friendship breakup, people aren't checking on me.
Hmm.
And I feel like it should be held to the same standard because for me, it is, and I feel it just as hard. I mean, I've also really only dealt with one kind of somewhat devastating kind of guy breakup. So I have more experience in the friendship ones.
Yeah. Well, and I think me and you are also people who don't have like a bunch of friends. We just hold our best friendships very close. And so when you lose that, it's kind of like you don't have other people to fall back on as much because that was your person.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I feel like the biggest, not that you should just go find a replacement because that's obviously not gonna help you get through it, but I noticed that sometimes when I would go through lose a friend, then there would be another friend that then I would be like, you've been here all along and now I can like value you more. And I realized that I maybe wasn't appreciating all the other friendships that I had in my life.
Yeah.
So maybe kind of focus on what's left in your life
Yeah, and putting
after
yourself
it.
out there. But I think it's important to feel it first. Like, don't be like, oh, it's just a friend. Like, I shouldn't be feeling like this, blah, blah, blah. Like, feel it. Like, go through that motion, go through that. It's a mourning process. And
Mm-hmm.
then, from there, I think also forgiving the person if they had potentially wronged you or something, like really just freeing yourself from that situation. Whether you're friends with them again in the future, if you're not,
Mm-hmm.
just finding a way, whether it's a couple of years down the road or finding a way to leave that situation in a positive way and not having that just negativity fester from like years ago, like it, for the most, I have no negative feelings towards anyone um my friendship past. I truly could say that right now.
Yeah. I'm not there yet, but working on it. I would say also though, don't try to, if something wrong did happen, don't just try, just because you want someone in your life and you want them to value you doesn't mean they will. And that might be kind of like what you were saying. Maybe you're just in a different part of your life and that happens. So maybe it's not always the person's fault, but also don't like glaze over someone hurting you or doing something wrong just because you want them in your life. And I think that in all relationships, even parents, even though that's a whole other kind of like sticky
Sure.
situation, but like you deserve to be treated a certain way. And you don't need to make things okay just to keep people in your life when they don't deserve to be there.
I agree. Yeah, and making sure it's not a one-sided.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, so feel it, forgive the person, and then also put yourself back out there. See, really invest yourself into maybe relationships that you had all along, but that you can really like value.